You can see my complete rankings of every single brawler in the game in this meta tier list, from 1 star all the way to 6 stars for the best brawlers in the game. Also, throughout the video, we're gonna go through every single brawler in ABCD order, starting with 8-bit, as I give you guys the best build, the best gadget, the best star power, and the best gears for every single brawler. But first, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, Exit Lag Mobile. Do you guys hate it when you're in a crucial moment in the game and then lag ruins your game? Well, I don't have to worry about that anymore because Exit Lag Mobile reduces lag, high ping, and latency issues, giving me that smooth and stress-free gameplay. As someone who lives in an area with poor network stability, Exit Lag helps me by optimizing my connection with over 1,000 servers around the world, making sure I have the best and stable connection for lag-free gaming. With it, I'm able to get to Masters League with ease, and now getting closer to Pro League. Exit Lag Mobile works perfectly with over 1,300 mobile games, such as your favorite games like Brawl Stars, PUBG Mobile, Call of Duty Mobile, Fortnite Mobile, and many more. So try out Exit Lag Mobile today with my special link in the description below, and use my code ASH for a special 15% off discount. So let's start off with 8-bit. For 8-bit, you want to run this build with the star power boosted booster to maximize his DPS, because he's one of the highest damage output brawlers in the game. If you're playing him on Heist, you want to switch over to extra credit for even better DPS on the safe. But overall, teleport is amazing for escape potential, and that's his best build. Next, Alli's one of the greatest. Well, now she's not very good of an assassin in this meta. She's fallen off a lot into the B tier at 3 stars, but she can be very good against low health brawlers. And so you must go with damage and shield for great interactions. For any assassin brawlers with low health, you always want to go shield gear, because what they do is they're melee brawlers. They're aggro melee brawlers with short range, and so interactions are going to be super important. For her gadget, go with the cold-blooded for instant enrage. Whenever you're starting off in like Brawl Ball, boom, cold-blooded, get within any range of the brawler, get instant rage. And always want to go with the you better run star power for increased reload to maximize your DPS. Then we're going with Amber, another high damage output brawler, damage dealer. So utilizing this build with the reload and damage gear is going to be best for her. And going with the dancing flames for additional damage, this is going to make her very good into assassins and tanks. Otherwise, a brawler like Edgar can just jump in on you and take you out pretty quickly. So dancing flames is great for that. Next, Angelo, a sharpshooter brawler. Now, most sharpshooters, you want to go with damage and shield gear. That shield gear is going to allow you to take more hits from other sharpshooters. Like, for example, you're competing against a Piper, Mandy, right? You want to try to have as much health as possible. And so also go with the Empower star power, because that's going to give you additional heal anytime you're using his super, which allows you to play more aggressively. Now, for both of his gadgets, overall, Master Fletcher is actually better because he's best on bounty and knockout game mode. So having a piercing gadget to deal damage through walls is going to make him very dangerous, almost uncounterable, especially with a 4,400 damage max charge shot. Next, Ashe. Now, Ashe is a tank, speedy tank with high damage output, so you want to capitalize on that, right? So go with the speed gear, obviously. You want to use them on bushy maps like Sneaky Field, Center Stage, Double Swoosh, any of those sneaky bush maps, Hard Rock Mine, Gem Fort. He's gonna be so good with this composition, guys. This build, go with the first bash, always first shot. You're gonna get instant enrage and chill pill to keep you alive, because survivability is just so important for aggro tank. Next, Barley. Barley is an artillery brawler with low health, and so most low health brawlers, you'll definitely want to go with the shield gear for the interactions. You want to be able to defeat other brawlers, other artillery brawlers particularly. Go with the herbal tonic. This not only supports you but also your teammates with heal, and the extra noxious for additional damage makes him a very big threat. Now, a lot of times if you're playing him on ladder or you're playing on him in heist, you're going to encounter lots of tanks or assassins, so going with sticky syrup in that situation is a good idea. But overall, herbal tonic is the better option. Next, B. Now, B is a brawler that has switched over her best build from insta B load to now honeycomb. In this very aggressive state of the meta, you got lots of brawlers like Lily, Kenji, and even on ladder you got like Edgar and Mortis. So you want to use honeycomb because this is the star power that allows her to win those interactions. It's a very crucial star power to have. And of course, being a sharpshooter with low health, go with the shield gear for those interactions. Rattle Tide is still so good ever since the gadget cooldown change. This is her best overall build. Now, Belle. Belle is a brawler, another sharpshooter. Definitely want to go shield gear. Now, in between damage or reload, go with the reload because reload is the permanent 15% reload. So even if you're at full health, you're gonna get that constant reload, more shot. Whereas damage gear is only active when you're below 50% health. So definitely want to go with the reload here. Nest egg is so good. Constantly place that trap on the map, especially with the gadget cooldown. Every 20 seconds you can place trap. Positive feedback, of course, for that additional shield. It makes her great into other sharpshooters on knockout and bounty, where you definitely want to use her. Now Barry is a great support. He's one of the best support brawlers for tanks. Combine them with a brawler like Frank or Draco, and that can be a nightmare matchup for the enemy. So go with this composition. You always want to go with the shield gear because he's pretty low health, 5,000. And the best reason to go with the shield gear is he also heals himself with his basic attack, right? So healing yourself back to full health, guess what that does? That reactivates your shield gear. So this makes it imperative to go with, and then go with this gadget, knockback plus heal, that you can use for your teammates. Now the one occasion that you want to use his healthy additives gadget is if you're playing him on heist. That does a lot of damage on the enemy heist, but overall pretty much 90% of the time when you're not playing heist, you always want to go with this build. Next, Bibi. Bibi has gotten a recent buff. Now she's got constant knockback potential. Now Bibi is a short range brawler. I see her more of an assassin rather than a tank, even though she's got very high health, but having that interaction, she's already got great speed, so you don't need a speed gear. She's got a great ability to heal back with the vitamin booster, so you don't really need health gear much either, because you can just heal back her to full, and then that can reactivate her shield. And having more health means she's gonna be a bigger threat. She's gonna be better matchup against a lot of brawlers that have longer range or other tanks that oftentimes counter her. That shield gear is gonna give her the upper hand sometime. Next, moving on, we got Bo. Now Bo, in order to maximize his DPS output, which he really needs because he's pretty weak to tanks and assassins that are aggroing into him, so having the damage gear plus reload is a great idea. Narrow Bear, always, this is the best star power for him, hands down. And then you want to go with the Super's Totem, which is going to maximize your charge rate for your super and your hypercharge. He actually gets his hypercharge even quicker thanks to this gadget, so make sure you place it properly. Next, Bonnie. This is the hands down best build for Bonnie. There is no other build that's better than this one, guys, because you need the supercharge gear. With that supercharge gear, you're going to get her super in 3 hits, and not just that, it also boosts your hypercharge rate, so you're going to get your hypercharge quicker as well, making Bonnie one of the best brawlers right now. As you can see, she's up there in the 6 stars still in this meta, getting that hypercharge so strong with it because she not only stuns the enemy, added boost, added speed. She's just so good right now in the meta. Next, we've got Brock. Now Brock is a brawler. Now remember when I said you want to go with the reload gear for Belle, but with Brock you don't want to go reload gear, you want to go damage and shield. And this is most likely because Brock is already a good reload brawler, but overall shield gear is a must for Brock, because otherwise you're gonna get two-shotted by a lot of sharpshooters like Piper or Mandy, right? So you definitely want to go with the shield gear. Now for the damage gear, guess what? Piper hits you once, even with the damage gear, she's gonna activate your damage gear, and then you can two-shot her. So interaction-wise, damage gear is better than the reload gear. However, if you're playing them on heist, it's a good idea to also go the reload gear to maximize DPS for heist. Also, rocket fuel is just so versatile option to open up the map. That's the main reason you want to use Brock. You want to use them on maps like out in the open, safe zone, Kaboom Canyon, to open up entry points in those maps. Okay, next up, Bull. Now Bull, this is the best overall build for Bull. Supercharge gear all the time because it not only gets you faster supers, but also his hypercharge, which makes him a beast to deal with. That added shield, 25% shield and speed boost. Also tough guy, so that he's even tankier. You live longer. If you live longer, guess what? You're charging more, your super and your hypercharge, especially because he's also got the tank trait, of course, right? This is gonna be the best overall build. Always go with the Stomper because that additional stun is like a free kill, and a cycle with your super and hypercharge. The best overall build by far for Bull. Moving on to Buster. Buster's gadget slow-mo replay is actually one of the best gadgets in the game. Top 5 gadgets in the game right now. So maximize it by using the gadget cooldown, obviously, and his DPS with the damage gear. Kevlar vest is so good because not only reduces damage, but it also makes him immune to knockback, slows, and stuns, which is just so OP. Moving on, we got Buzz, another aggro hybrid assassin tanky brawler, similar to like Bibi. I call these brawlers hybrids. They're more of assassin assassin plus tank brawlers. So you want to go with this interactions. Remember what I said about hybrid brawlers, assassin types. You want to always go shield gear because that's going to allow you to win those interactions. You want to be at full health when you make aggro plays, so you get the best ability to stay alive and deal as much damage and chain your supers, of course. So always go with this one. Always the eye sharp star power for increased area, so you get your supers better, and also charges your hypercharge as well. Pretty OP. Next, Byron. Byron's getting a hypercharge. He's got to move up to 6 stars once he gets that hypercharge. It's so OP, guys. Always go with this build. He's a sharpshooter support brawler, so he has pretty low health, 4800 health. So always want to go with the shield gear, because best of all for the healers, guys, he can also heal himself with his supers. If you're healing yourself, put yourself back at full health, guess what? You reactivate your shield gear. So always go with this. Maisie is excellent against tanks and healer compositions because it stops them from healing back. It's 75% reduction in heal for 9 seconds. So it's a nightmare matchup for a lot of healers and tank compositions. And always go with the boosters, guys. It really maximizes damage and heal. Next, Carl. Carl's best utilized with this composition with the heat ejector. Makes him a very versatile brawler from range. So this makes him really hard to counter. So if the other team has like a brawler like Jacky or a Buzz that can use their supers to stop you, well, with the heat ejector, you don't have to worry because from a distance, you're going to deal a lot of damage. But me personally, I like using the flying hook on game modes like Bounty or Knockout. Instantly go for the star in the Bounty map or make aggro sneaky plays with flying hook. I love that. And even Heist, a map like Kaboom Cannon, you can use the flying hook to instantly go to mid. Always go with this build, by the way. Always the protected pirouette for damage reduction, because then that allows you to play him very aggressively with his super while staying alive. And of course, remember what I said about hybrid brawlers, shield and damage all. Moving on, Charlie. Charlie's one of the best control brawlers, shutdowns, tanks, and assassins. Great counter to them. Spiders is one of the best gadgets, especially because it blocks single target brawlers. So if the other team has a brawler like, you know, like a Bee, Piper, right? These brawlers that have single shot, Jean, right? You can use these spiders to block their abilities, block their single shots. So always maximize that with the gadget cooldown and then digest it for additional damage. This is going to be her best build. Damage gear for sure, because she lacks the DPS. Next, moving on, Chester. Now, Chester is a brawler where you want to utilize that speed gear because he's best utilized in maps with bushes. Maps like Undermine on the lanes with the bush, Double Swoosh, Sneaky Field, Center Stage. All of these maps are going to be the best for Chester because he's a counter to tanks and assassins, and those are maps where tanks are going to be prominent in. So always go with this build, Cannon Bean, constantly, instantly get boost with him. Single Bellomania, so your first shot also maximizes your DPS. All right, so always go with this build, guys. Next, Chuck. Always want to use Chuck in Heist, and this is his best build. Always the health gear, so you get healed back to full so that you can constantly aggro the enemy. All right, so always go with this. Rerouting pit stop, so you get 4 of those pit stop posts that you can utilize with them. Clancy. Now, Clancy recently got a buff. He gets his upgrades quicker now, so make sure to use this build because this maximizes that ability even more, because Clancy's biggest weakness, guys, is his inability to get into play as quickly as possible, because sometimes it takes too long to get into that stage 3 form where you're going to be the most dangerous, right? So with this build, snappy shooting and recon, you're going to be able to get to that stage 3 a lot quicker. So always go with this one. Next, Colette. Colette is one of the best anti-tank brawlers, especially great for Heist for that crazy damage with her hypercharge. Always go with this because her heal gadget, Gotcha, it allows her to constantly heal back, get in play quicker, and then mass attacks on top of that. You get the additional shield. She's going to be a nightmare matchup for a lot of brawlers. So if you're playing against a brawler like Carl and Darryl in Heist, she's going to be a great matchup into those, constantly keeping them low and then constantly supering into their safe. Now, Colt has fallen off a lot in the meta, as you can see. He's at 1 star, but he's great for Heist for one thing, is high DPS. So this is going to be the best build to capitalize on his high DPS, speed loader with damage and reload, and Magnum special for additional range. Moving on, we got Cordelius. Cordelius is one of the best anti-tank, anti-assassin brawlers. Now recently got a damage boost. This is the most versatile build for Cordelius, but both of his gadgets are really good. You want to go with the poison mushroom against assassins and tanks, and then his other star power combo shrooms is really good against high health tanky matchup. So everything is actually really good. Both gadgets and both star powers are really good for Cordelius depending on the matchup. Moving on, we got Crow. Crow's another excellent brawler against assassins and tanks. Always go with the carrying Crow star power whenever you're dealing with tanky matchups, high health brawlers, because you keep them below 50%, you're gonna deal 40% more damage on them. You're gonna melt them. His defense booster is so good, plus the shield gear makes him super bulky because they recently buffed up his health by a lot, guys. So he's a lot bulkier right now. Great composition to dominate with Crow. Moving on, Darryl. Darryl is a great brawler on highest aggro for great potential with the recoiling rotator, which not only charges super, but also deals additional damage to the enemy safe. And then shield gear, because remember what I said, he's a hybrid. He's a tanky assassin type brawler, constantly going in on the enemy up close. So having that shield gear for additional health is imperative, and steel hoops always for the shield. Moving on, Doug. Doug has moved up so much in the meta with his new heal trait and his hypercharge. Guys, use the health gear so you can also heal yourself quicker, but the double sausage plus the self-service combo on the game mode like knockout is extremely broken. Constantly heal your teammates, and healing them allows you to get your super, get your hypercharge. Combine that hypercharge with the teammate, oh my goodness, they are just gonna be uncounterable with it. So OP. Moving on, Draco. Draco's has one of the best gadgets, actually. Top 2 gadgets in the game. The last stand gadget, which makes him immortal for 2 seconds. So always go with the cooldown gadget, because that's 22 seconds long, guys. You want to reduce that with the gadget cooldown. So go with this one. Always with the shredding start power. Constantly heal yourself as you constantly use your super. Make yourself even more immortal. Super strong composition and a very powerful tank in this meta. Moving on, Dynamike. Not very good in this current meta, but he's really good in low trophy ranges or low ranks. Good for carrying potential. Always got the shield and damage because he's pretty low health being an artillery brawler. And then always, of course, you want to go with the satchel charge gadget. Is one of the best gadgets. Instant stun, instant kill. Just too good. Demolition always. Don't go for the Dyna jump, guys. Sure, you can make some cool plays with the Dyna jump here and there, but demolition is 99 times better than the Dyna jump star power guy. Moving on, Edgar. This is the best build for Edgar. You definitely always want to go supercharge gear because that also makes it faster to get his hypercharge. Of course, damage gear always, because the more damage you do, especially if you're in low health, the more you heal because of his trait, right? So Edgar heals by dealing damage to the enemy. Hard landing to finish off those low health brawlers, because that's what Edgar is best at. He's best at countering artillery brawlers and low health brawlers. Let's fly for the instant supercharge. Always go with this build. Unless, I guess, if you're playing showdown, then you might want to consider hardcore. Next, Primo. El Primo has fallen. Another brawler. Both Edgar and El Primo have fallen so far, guys. No matter 1 star, they're just not very good with their lack of range. However, this is gonna be the best build for El Primo. You definitely want to use him on bushy map because he lacks the range. He needs to speed up, he needs to get closer, and he needs to utilize his tank trait with the supercharge to get his super so that he can jump in on the enemy, get closer to the enemy with the meteor rush, and then get closer to getting his hypercharge, which is really strong actually. Jump in on anyone with the hypercharge super and you're gonna be able to quickly take them out, and then suplex supplement for additional versatility. Next, we've got Ems. Now Ems is a brawler that's very niche dependent. She's great in certain areas, so particularly bushy maps like Sneaky Field or Center Stage. Those are going to be like her best overall maps right now in this meta. Very few maps that she's going to be very strong in, but always the bushy maps like Double Swish as well. So always want to go with the vision and the speed gear. Speed gear with her ability, with her shot, actually maximizes your damage output. So always want to go with this one. Height for additional health because you want to stay alive with her. You get multiple brawlers in her super, you're going to stay alive a lot quicker. Friend zoner always against any aggro brawler. Next, we got Eve. Eve is a great control brawler with nice damage output, but her super ability to shut down single target brawlers like Piper, B, Belle, Angelo, those brawlers with a single target, her super is going to be great into them. Always use the shield gear because she's very low health, 5800. So you want to be able to stay alive against those sharpshooters. Gotta go always, because it also leaves behind a hatchling. Never use this guy, just like the worst gadget in the game. A reload gear that's going to maximize your DPS with her as well, and happy surprise, it summons a hatchling, which also can be used to block those single target brawlers. Next, Fang, another hybrid assassin tanky brawler, very high health, 8600. Always go with the shield gear because interactions are going to be so important, and always go with the fresh kicks because he now does 3000 damage at max with his super, so you can chain supers a lot effectively with this star power. Always go with, actually both of these gadgets are really good. Corn Fu is a little better right now in this meta. It's great for keeping enemies back, allowing you to recuperate, reheal, keep enemies back, zone them out, and then use your super on them. We got Finx. Finx, you want to go with the health gear. He's got pretty decent health, 7200, be able to heal back. Now his back to the Finxter gadget is just so OP. Well, the best way to utilize is use all your ammo and then just teleport back. When you teleport back, guess what? You get all your ammo back. So that's like having 6 shots. You can spam 6 shots back to back with Finx with this gadget. And go with the primer because you place your super is going to stay longer the more you utilize that combo with this shot and then gadget to reclaim your ammo. Moving on, we got Frank. Frank's one of the tankiest tank in the game with so much health. So always go with the health gear, of course. course, so you can heal back quicker. I like the power grab instead of sponge. Sponge gives you more health, but right now Frank is very dangerous when he has low health. Guess what? Because fast attack, right? So having power grab is gonna be really good. You get one kill, you get a 25% damage boost. He becomes really hard to stop. And always go with the irresistible attraction, unless you really need active noise canceling. But most of the time, this one is just so versatile, allows you to deal more damage, 50% more damage. Now moving on, we've got Gale. Now Gale has moved up a lot in the meta recently thanks to his new damage buff. He's moved up to 3 stars. He used to be 1 star. Always go with this build with freezing snow. It's so good. Constantly slows down the enemy. Twister for great defense against aggro brawlers, assassins, and tanks. That's what Gale is best against, guys. Next, we've got Gene. Now Gene is a really good support brawler, great with the range, and he's excellent in open area maps. So going with Vengeful Spirits is gonna be the best gadget for him, especially with the additional range with his mythic gear and vision gear to keep an eye on the enemy. He's one of the best scouting brawlers with this build, guys. Always go with the magic puffs to support your teammates with heal, by the way. Next, moving on, we've got Gray. Now Gray has 2 great builds depending on the game mode. If you're playing him on bounty and knockout, always go with this build. Fake injury plus the shield gear, so hard to deal with. You're at full health, and with additional shield gear, you're gonna be able to take so many hits with it. But if you're using him on gem grab, brawl ball as a support, go with this one plus the gadget cooldown, so you get constant use of his walking cane gadget. This way you're gonna be able to constantly heal your teammates, constantly support them with the teleport, which is really strong. Griff is a really good counter to assassins and tanks as well, and this is gonna be his best build for survivability. He's great on game modes like hot zone, great for holding control and staying alive. Business resilience, such a strong star power for that. Piggy bank for opening up the map, which makes him even stronger. Great if you couple him with other great brawlers that are really good in open area, like a brawler like B, for example. Go with the shield gear, because with business resilience you're gonna get to that max health, and then when you're at max health you're gonna be able to reactivate his shield gear. As for Grom, another artillery brawler, so artillery brawler, you always want to go with the shield and damage because of their low health, of course. Go with the radio check, great DPS, 3 shots, and an X factor for even more damage from afar. This is going to be his best overall build for the best damage output and health. Going up, we got Gus. Now Gus is one of the best support brawlers and sharpshooters in the game. He has great damage output, really powerful with the cookie power, spirit animal that also not only boosts your teammate if you use your super on them, but also boosts your own DPS. It doesn't tell you in the description, but it also gives Gus additional 25% damage, guys. So always go with this build. Next, moving on, Hank. Oh my goodness, he's still one of the best tanks in the game. Always go with the health gear. He's got so much health, 10,000 health. So using the health gear, you're gonna be able to heal back quicker. And then best of all, he's got a gadget that gives him even more damage reduction, great shield, and on top of that, it's gonna blow, gives him more speed to get up close to the enemy and deal even more damage. This is his best overall build by far, guys. Moving on, we've got Jacky, another tanky brawler. She's been moving down a bit in the meta just because of these other tanks have been shining more right now at the top. But if you're gonna use Jacky, this is her best overall build. Always go with the pneumatic booster, always go with the cooldown so you get constant use of the speed so you can get up close to the enemy, because Jacky's biggest weakness is her range. She has very short range, so always go with this build plus the supercharge to constantly get your hypercharge. It gives you faster hypercharge, meaning you're gonna be able to use that to get closer to the enemy. 25% speed boost, which is really good for getting up close on enemies. Next, Jae-Yong, a great support brawler. He's gonna move up to 6 stars once he gets that hypercharge that's coming out very soon. So this is the best build. You want to use him with him, damage and shield for sure because of his low health, and damage because he has pretty low DPS. As for his star power, always go with this one. It not only speeds you up, even if you don't have teammates nearby you, you attack you, it speeds you up. It's so OP. And then Weaken Warrior, of course, for double the damage. Whenever the enemy is near you, you get constant damage input output with it. So always go with that because he has pretty low DPS, of course. Another low DPS brawler, Janet, but she's really good for area control with her drop the base. I love using it with the gadget cooldown because this has a pretty long cooldown, guys, 20 seconds. So having that to constantly keep the enemy from healing and also scout the enemies in bushes, she's really good for that. Always go with the vocal warm-up, of course, always. And because of her low DPS, always go with the damage gear. Next, Jessie. Now Jessie's fallen quite a bit in the meta at 2 stars right now. She's struggles a lot. It's just so many counters, but she's pretty sneaky pick on like heist. So always go with this build on heist with the recoil spring plus the pet power gear for more damage, 25% more. Makes it really hard to deal with her. And then energize always, because shoot at your turret, you also heal it. Next, Juju's getting a hypercharge very soon, and that's gonna be really strong because she charged it pretty quickly, 12-13 hits to get it. Always go with the elementalist because you're gonna be able to get so much versatility with it. If you're in the water, increased speed. If you're in the ground, earth, damage reduction. If you're in the grass, pop it, you're invisible. Just so many things you can do. Numbing needles always against assassins and tanks, guys. Slows them down, makes it easier to charge and chain your supers. And then of course, artillery brawler, damage shield. Moving on, Kaze, another assassin. She's one of the best assassins in the game. Top tier, 6 stars. Always go with the damage and shield. Any interaction brawler assassins, you always want to go damage shield. More damage up close on those melee targets, and then shield for survivability. And then gratuity. This is the best star power for her because it eats up ammo. Okay, you drop your super, imagine dropping it on 3 enemies, you eat 3 of their ammo. It makes it easier to aggro in on them and finish them off when they're low on ammo. So always go with this one, guys. And then her invisibility gadget is the better one, the superior one, because it adds versatility. You go invisible, keeps the enemy guessing. So always go with that one, guys. And then Kenji is one of the best assassins as well. Oh my goodness, 6 stars still. Well, has one of the deadliest hyper charges. The good thing is it takes a while to charge. Always go with this build, guys. Hosomaki always need to heal. And then of course, interaction, hybrid assassin tanky brawler. Always want to go with the damage and shield. And then Nigiri nemesis for damage reduction on top of that to stay alive, and then constantly chain your super so you can get that hyper charge. Next, Kit. Now Kit, assassin support hybrid brawler, but he's actually best utilized as an assassin type brawler in aggro, especially with his hyper charge. Jump in on him, stun, free kill. So always go with this one. Interaction, damage, and shield is gonna be the best. Overly attached if you're playing him in 3v3. I guess the other one only if you're playing in showdown. And always go with the cardboard. This just adds another layer of versatility with the invisibility. Next, Lawrie, artillery brawler, damage shield. Oh my goodness, so many brawlers have damage and shield. It's just a meta right now, guys. All the best players in the world are doing it. And then you got protocol, assist. Go with this, get faster reload. This one, order fallback, is gonna be the best one because it gives you a heal and it gives you a dash ability to make it harder to target. You always go with this one, guys. And then with the hypercharge coming up, there's gonna be pretty good. Unfortunately though, it takes 27 hits to charge his hypercharge, so it's gonna be really hard to get, and that's why he's not top tier at the moment because of that. It just takes too long to get his hypercharge. Moving on, we got Leon. Leon recently got a buff to his maximum damage, so he's moved up a bit to 3 stars. From max range, he does more damage now. Also, I found this build in particular to be the best for him in this current meta. His clone projector has a very short 13-second cooldown. Use it on top of the gadget cooldown. You're gonna get those clones pretty much every 11 seconds, okay? And then you can constantly use those clones to guess what you can do. You can constantly block single target brawlers in a game mode like Bounty or Knockout against those Pipers, those Angelos, those Gus, those Jean, which he's gonna be a lot better in with this composition. Always go invisi heal. You want to heal back so you're more aggressive while you're invisible. Next, we've got Lily. Lily has one of the, actually she has the best gadget in the game. Vanish gadget is too good, and that's why the cooldown is 22 seconds. Go with the gadget cooldown to shorten that, and so you can constantly aggro with it. And then vigilance for the extra speed, because that's her biggest weakness, is her range. She has a hard time getting up close to the enemies, but with this speed, vigilance, speed boost, she's able to catch up and deal more damage. So it's gonna be really good for her. Next, we got Lola. Lola's been pretty out of the meta right now, 2 stars, not very good, but this is gonna be the best build to utilize her, maximize her DPS. She's gonna be best on heist, and then I love the stunt double because you can constantly use this to heal back, and also you could use your shadow to sometimes shield you as well. And of course, the improvise for additional damage on her last attack gives you a higher DPS for a game mode like heist. Moving on, Lou is an excellent area control brawler, especially on single zone hot zone maps like Ring of Fire, Dueling Beetles, Open Business. Those are going to be really excellent maps for Lou, and so utilize this composition always with the supercharge. You get faster hypercharges because he has one of the deadliest hypercharges in the game. Instant freeze, instant chains, and then go with the Cryo syrup because you drop that super, more freeze, which is great with the hyperthermia because the more they're frozen, well, their damage also gets reduced by this star power. Moving on, we got Lumi. Lumi is still one of the best area control brawlers, mainly because of this gadget, guys. Drop her gadget and then use the cooldown because it's a 23-second cooldown, guys. So you want to shorten that. You just basically get instant control of the map right from the start of the game. You drop her 2 shots, that's a basically instant control over the map. She's so deadly because of that. Always go with the halftime. This is the best star power by her by far. Makes her very, very hard to deal with if the enemy is an assassin or a tank trying to approach you. Moving on, Maisie is a great counter to tanks and assassins with their damage and great range with damage output, but unfortunately she's been really struggling this meta right now. Pretty easy brawler to dodge her attack, her main attack, and also just competition with so many other anti-tank brawlers that are oftentimes better, like a brawler like B is just overall better. But it's the best build for her. Tremors and disengage with the dash for her. This gadget, by the way, also stuns the enemy, so if the enemy's an assassin trying to rush you, make sure to use that to stun them as well. Moving on, we got Mandy. Now Mandy's one of the best sharpshooters in the game with a very deadly hypercharge, and now also go with the damage and shield, of course. Go with in my sights is by far the better star power. With this, she's able to get consistent hits and damage for her hypercharge, and go with the cookie crumbs, which is overall better because it makes her pretty much uncounterable. The enemy hiding behind walls to dodge a Mandy shot, well, now you can't because the cookie crumbs allows her to pierce through the wall and even get you and finish you off. Very deadly. Next, Max. Max has fallen off so much, bro. She's a 2-star brawler now because of, guess what, Jae-Yong. Most of the support brawlers have been falling so much because they're just getting outclassed. Jae-Yong gives you not only speed support constantly, you just shoot at the enemy, shoot at yourself, and then you also get heal on top of that. So Max has been really struggling, but this is gonna be the best overall build if you are playing with Max though. Next, Meeple. Now Meeple is a very versatile brawler. Once he gets that hypercharge, it's gonna be even stronger. Both of his gadgets are actually really good. This one, the rage quit, is great for stun, great for brawl ball. But everywhere else, pretty much the mansions offer a lot of versatility. Trap the enemy anytime you want, and then do not pass deals more damage, 600, which is great for a brawler like Meeple because he's already got very low DPS. His reload is really slow, but his main attack does pretty good damage. So always go with this one, damage plus shield. And then we've got Meg. Meg is a great brawler right now, pretty underrated, right into the short range brawlers, especially tanky brawlers or assassins. And so go with the heavy metal because if she loses her mecha, guess what? Boom, 2400 additional damage from that. And then also go with the shield gear because they nerfed her health so much. 4600 health on her mecha. Make sure to also use the jolting volt so you can maintain that mecha form as much as possible. Moving on, Melody, assassin brawler, hybrid assassin, tanky. She's got 7200 health. Always go with the shield gear, get more health so you're able to make those aggro plays. Always go with the fast beats because that's best with assassin aggro brawlers is speed. And then shield, right? This is just common sense for any assassin aggro brawler for interaction, close combat interactions. You always want to think about shield. You always want to think about as much health as I have, as much speed as I have. This is ideally the best build for Melody. And then another assassin type brawler, Miko. So again, you want to go shield and damage gear. Now record smash is going to be his overall best build, best star power, because he has one of the best roles right now in heist, which is to just dive into the enemy safe and deal immense amount of damage with this star power. Otherwise, you want to go with the monkey business everywhere else, but right now Miko's best in this game as a heist dive dasher. Just dive into the heist safe. Next, Mo. Now Mo is a brawler that really needs this, guys. He needs the dodgy digging gadget to quickly charge his super, get closer to his hypercharge, because that's when he becomes the biggest threat. And then always go with the skipping stones. Additional shots means more chances to charge your super and your hypercharge. And so this is gonna be the best one. And of course, with his super, you want to get up close to the enemy. So always want to have shield gear to have as much health as possible when you're trying to win those interactions. Next, we've got Mortis. Now Mortis' mythic gear is so good, guys. The ability to speed up the bats by 50% allows you to heal back quicker. So this makes him even aggressive. He's one of the best aggressive brawlers for that reason. Curl snake so you get that long dash as quickly as possible. And of course, survival shovel, because that's his biggest weakness, is his reload when he's out of those dashes. You want to try to maximize that and get as much as possible. This is by far the best one. Pretty much all the Mortis pros run this one. Next, we've got Mr. P, great control brawler. His portal reinforcement so good with the cooldown gadget, because 17 seconds cooldown to 15 seconds, constantly become a nuisance for the enemy. Revolving door, even more health for your porters. This is by far the best build for Mr. P. I always run this. Next, we've got Nani. Nani's one of the best counters to sharpshooters. She's a great counter to marksmen like Angelo, Piper, Belle, Mandy, God. So always want to go with this build against those guys. Damage and shield all the time, because otherwise you might get two-shotted. She's only got 4800 health. And always go with the return to center, which makes her super strong into those single target brawlers. Moving on, we got Nita. Nita's an excellent brawler for heist with that hyper bear, and you can use both of these guys actually. Fur, which allows you to get a bigger shield for your bear. This combo is actually super strong on heist, a map like hot potato against tanky matchups. Get your super, get that hypercharged bear. Whereas the bear pause is really good if you're playing her on game mode like Sneaky Fields or Center Stage in Brawl Ball. Put her on the tank and you can constantly chain your super, stun them. Moving on, Alli's gonna be one of the best tanks in the game. Once he gets that hypercharge, it's so OP. It's uncounterable basically. So you always want to go with this one. Go with the regulate 20-second cooldown. Cool that down by the gadget cooldown because that constant jump, and then you can also disable the enemy, hypnotize them if you hit them with it. So I love using this combo, guys, with the renegade. Always go with the renegade. By far the better star power. Gives you a 4,000 decaying shield. Next we got Otis. Otis got a big buff recently, guys. He's got more health, more damage, meaning he's even better now as a counter to assassins and tanks, and it's a very hyper aggressive meta. So he's moved up all the way to the S tier into that 5-star zone. He might even move up to 6 tiers, who knows. He might move up. He's trending up a lot recently. This is best build by far, maximizes DPS, and of course you want to get ever closer to that hypercharge with that supercharge gear. And always go with the ink refills. Don't even think about this one, that's ugly. Go with the ink refills, guys. More damage, 33% more DPS. Crazy. Now Pam is one of the worst brawlers in the current meta, but she is gonna get her hypercharge hopefully soon. Not this update, probably the next one if I had to guess. She really desperately needs it because she's really at the bottom right now, and these other support brawlers like Byron and Jae-Yong getting hypercharges makes it even worse for Pam. She's struggling a lot, but this is her best overall build. Scrap Sucker always. Go with the mythic gear, more heal, and then Mama Squeeze is great for area denial. Next, a Pearl. Pearl is another brawler moving down in the meta as well, guys. Just so much competition and doesn't really have a home. She used to be pretty good in knockout. Just play her as a passive brawler, charge up your shield, and then use the overcooked gadget for immense damage. So use that with the cooldown gadget and the heat shield star power to reduce damage. Next we got Penny. Penny's great counter to brawl with spawners like Charlie and her spiders, Terra and her shadows. She's great for those brawlers. So you always want to go with this build right here, guys. I love this one. Go with the heavy coffers. You're gonna deal a wider cone of damage. Overall, Penny though in this meta kind of struggling, doesn't have the greatest DPS. So definitely a late pick for the most part. I love the Salty Barrel additional spawn unit that you can use against single target brawlers to block them. Next, Piper. Piper is one of the best sharpshooters in the game. She's super popular brawler on bounty and knockout, and you always want to go with the damage shield just like any other marksman brawler. And this configuration is going to maximize her DPS. Always snappy sniping, and then homemade recipe for the easy snipes, but you can also go with the auto aimer if the other team has a very aggro brawler like a tank or assassin. Next, DJ Poco. Poco, guys, Poco has been falling so much in the meta, and again, same reason why a lot of these support brawlers are falling, because of Jae-Yong, because of Byron getting his hypercharge soon as well. Those brawlers are just better. Jae-Yong is just better heal supporter right now. But if you want to use Poco, this is going to be his best build. I love using the cooldown with the tuning fork, constant use of that to heal. The only time you want to think about protected tunes, I guess, if the other team has like a brawler like Lu, protected tunes can be very good. But overall, this is going to be his best build by far. Moving on, RT. RT is a pretty good high health sharpshooting brawler that is also excellent against tanks and assassins with his out of line gadget, instant super, and then a very powerful hypercharge. So this is gonna be his best overall build right here. Health gear, so you can heal back quicker to full. He has pretty nice health, 7,800 for that. Moving on, Rico. Rico, damage dealer, really hard brawler to deal with in certain maps, like if you're using him in like Pinball Dreams, Center Stage, Hard Rock Mine, Gem 4. A lot of maps can be really hard to deal with if they're playing a Rico. This is the most versatile composition. Multi-ball launcher, which is going to be excellent against assassins and tanks, which is he's going to be really good against. Maximize DPS, and then robo retreat for escape opportunities, and also he's a demon with that speed, guys. Just so much versatility. Rosa has been moving up and down a little, but she's still struggling. Doesn't have the versatility as other tanks, but overall can be pretty decent. I like this build right here, the grow lights. You get that bush, more concealment, more ability to do aggro plays, and then she really needs the thorny gloves to thrive in this meta, that additional damage, because your overall DPS is not the greatest. Moving on, we got Ruffs. Ruffs is moving a lot now up in the meta, guys. 5 stars right now. He's so good because his projectile is a lot faster now, 10% faster, so it's easier to hit, and meaning you're gonna get more supers quicker, more hypercharges. Both of his gadgets are really good. You want to go with the take cover if the other team has single target brawlers, but air support if they don't. So it really depends on the matchup. Sam, bro, Sam has fallen so much. 1-star brawler. He's just too easy to counter. A brawler like Cordelius just completely shuts him down, doesn't have the range or any capability to deal with it, but you definitely want to go with this. He's a hybrid tank, so you want to go with that shield gear, try to stay alive as much as possible because he's really struggling in this meta. Magnetic field is by far his better one, the pull opportunity to get easier kills. Next, Sandy. Sandy is a pretty good control brawler on most, like gem grab and brawl ball, and his super for concealment so strong. Always want to go speed gear because the best maps for Sandy are going to be the bushy maps. He really needs it because he struggles with his range. And then stun, always go with the stun. Allows you to play defensively, play offensively. It's just too good. Which stands for not just that damage but also scouting the enemy in the bushes. Next we've got Shade. Now Shade's long arm, 15 seconds. This is his best gadget by far. He needs that extended range to get more hits and charge his super. So I like using with the gadget cooldown, and then always go with the hardened hoodie star power for damage reduction. By far the best build. Sometimes you can also go with the shield gear instead of the cooldown if you like. Both are good. Next, Shelly. Now Shelly recently got a buff to her fast forward gadget. Now she replenishes all her shots whenever she uses the gadget, replenish your ammo. But Clay Pigeon is also really good as well. Versatility, gives her extended range. So it really depends on the matchup for the most part, but you definitely want to use her on maps like Sneaky Fields, bushy maps, Gem 4. Next, we've got Spike. Now Spike is a great control brawler, lane control brawler, great against countering assassins, tanks, great versatility with the curveball. Overall, not the strongest brawler in the game, but mid-tier. Does pretty much everything in a good way. Always go with the life plan for the heal. You must go with the shield gear because he has very low health. And then mythic gear is really good for slowing them down with your super, giving you even more damage output. Then we've got Sprout. Sprout has been moving down the meta so much. It's so easy to counter in this very aggressive, hypercharged state of the meta. Assassins are easy brawlers that can counter a Sprout with. But this is overall the best build for him. You want to go with the transplant to constantly cycle back your super, and then overgrowth is going to allow you to get easier shots on those targets. Moving on, we've got Squeak. Now Squeak is a menace right now in knockout and bounty with the additional range, with the wind up cooldown with only 14 seconds. He can be a demon, chain reaction for even more damage. Very powerful brawler on knockout and bounty that I really recommend running him on. Next, we've got Stu. Stu has been falling down in the meta a lot, but can be pretty good against artillery brawlers. Whenever the other team has like a brawler, like say like Dynamike, you want to break through that wall with his breakthrough gadget, and then that constant mobility, and then the heal. Combine that gas to heal with his hypercharge. Oh my goodness, you can do so much recovery plays with this one. Next, we've got Surge. This has always been Surge's best build. Always go with the power Surge. The other one just not as good anymore ever since it got nerfed. Need the instant upgrade. You need to get to his stage 2 as soon as possible so you get that extended range, and then you want to try to get his hypercharge. That's what makes him super strong. Next, Terra. Terra's been moving up a lot in this meta. She's in the 5 stars, but she could even move up to 6 stars soon. She's just so good in this current meta. Always go with the support from beyond. This allows her to shield herself against single target brawlers, but if the other team doesn't have single target brawlers, go with the psychic enhancer on bushy maps. That's where she thrives in the most, and that's why you always want to go with this the speed gear, because you want to speed up in those bushy maps like Gem 4, right? She's super good in pretty much every gem grab map. Terra is so good on. Double swoosh, she's just so good on. Hard Rock Mine, she's just so good on. Undermine, both the lanes have bushes. Oh my goodness, she's just perfect brawler for a gem grab. Moving on, Tick. Tick is a great artillery brawler for bounty and knockout. Those are only 2 game modes I recommend using him on. Don't use him on hot zone, guys. Tick is not good in hot zone. He's good for zoning enemies, but you're not gonna get in the zone. You're not working for the objectives. So don't use him on that game mode, guys. Always run with this configuration though, guys. This is the best build. Always a shield gear. Don't go with the health gear. Don't go with health gear. Well, oil is already gonna heal you back quick. You want to get back to full health so that you can reactivate his shield gear. Always go with this one with the mythic gear. Always mythic gear. More health for your head, and less hurrah for more shield opportunities because he has very low health. Trunk is one of the newer brawlers. Everyone wants to know what the best build is. This is ideally the best build. Now Trunk is a brawler that really struggles with his range. He does have a tank trait now that's going to allow him to get his super quicker, and he's getting hypercharge soon, so he's going to be a little better, but he's not going to move up too much in the meta because of his restrictions. But you always want to use him on bushy maps, so you always want to go with the speed gear with him, and then this gadget for heal opportunity opportunities, and then always go with the new insect star power to reduce damage. This is just logical. For any aggressive tank, you want heal opportunities and you want shield opportunities. Oh, last brawler, Willow. Guys, Willow, artillery brawler, but she's so good against assassin tank. She's actually very good in the meta, but she's falling a little bit in the 4 stars. She's in the mid 4 or 5 star depending on the situation. She's so strong on Brawl Ball, by the way, so I love using this configuration. Obsession always for that speed boost, make them go for the own goal opportunities and then dive. This is what allows her to counter or prevent assassins and tanks from rushing up on her. Always go with the dive. And there you guys have it, the best builds for all 94 brawlers in the game. Feel free to look over anytime, and if you guys have any questions, ask in the comments below. I'll try to answer your questions as best as I can. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to use code ASHBS in the shop. Would really appreciate all the support. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you guys next time.